Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to day 9 of the 300 words of the Quran series. We are on words 220 to 211. Make sure you repeat the words to get used to them. The first word is dar, which means home, coming from the root word of dawr, which means house, circle, go around, or to manage. قل إن كانت لكم الدار الآخرة عند الله خالصة من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين. Say, O Prophet, if the eternal home of the hereafter with Allah is exclusively for you Israelites out of all humanity, then wish for death if what you say is true. Here, ad-dar refers to the home. والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. And Allah invites all to the home of peace and guides whoever He wills to the straight path. Here, again, dar refers to home. وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين. And when it is said to those mindful of Allah, what has your Lord revealed? They say, all the best. For those who do good in this world, there is goodness. But far better is the eternal home of the hereafter. How excellent indeed is the home of the righteous. Here again, waladar refers to but the home. Dar, home. Dar, home. Dar, home. The next word is taht, which means underneath or beneath. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سندخلهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا وعد الله حقا ومن أصدق من الله قيلا. And those who believe and do good, we will soon admit them into gardens under which rivers flow, to stay there forever and ever. Allah's promise is always true, and whose word is more truthful than Allah's? Here, تحتها refers to under which. ولو أنهم أقاموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليهم من ربهم لأكلوا من فوقهم ومن تحت أرجلهم منهم أمة مقتصدة وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ سَاءَ مَا يَعْمَلُونَ. And had they observed the Torah, the Gospel, and what has been revealed to them from their Lord, they would have been overwhelmed with provisions from above and below. Some among them are upright, yet many do nothing but evil. Here, تحت refers to below. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ يَهْدِيهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ بِإِيمَانِهِمْ تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهِمُ الْأَنْهَارُ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ. Surely those who believe and do good, their Lord will guide them to paradise through their faith. Rivers will flow under their feet in the gardens of bliss. Here, تحتهم refers to under them or under their feet. تحت, underneath. تحت, underneath. تحت, underneath. The next word is Basar, which means vision, sight, or saw. Coming from the root word of Basar, which means eyesight, to see, to realize, or insight. Similar words are Basir, which means all-seeing. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Their example is that of someone who kindles a fire, but when it lights up all around them, Allah takes away their light, leaving them in a complete darkness, unable to see. Here, يبصرون refers to them being able to see. أفأنت تهدي العمى ولو كانوا لا يبصرون. And some of them look at you, but can you guide the blind even though they cannot see? Here, يبصرون again refers to them being able to see, in the plural. ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. Then look again and again. Your sight will return frustrated and weary. Here, al-basar first time refers to look, and the second time al-basar refers to your sight. Basar, vision or sight. Basar, vision or sight. Basar, vision or sight. The next word is Kataba, which means prescribed, ordained, or decreed. Coming from the root word of Kataba, which is to write, book, or letter, or ordained. Similar words are Kitab, which means book, Yaktub, which means he writes, Kutub, which is the plural, as in books, or Katib, which is the author, or someone who has written something. فويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فويل لهم مما كتبت أيديهم وويل لهم مما يكسبون. Here it comes in 3 different versions. يكتبون refers to writing, but in this context is distorting. Al-Kitab means the book, or in this case, the scripture. And Katabat means have written. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. That is why we have ordained for the children of Israel that whoever takes a life, unless as a punishment for murder or mischief in the land, it will be as if they killed all of humanity. And whoever saves a life, it will be as if they saved all of humanity. Although our messengers have already came to them with clear proofs, many of them still transgressed afterwards through the land. Here, katabna refers to we ordained. إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. It is certainly we who resurrect the dead and write what they send forth and what they leave behind. Everything is listed by us in a perfect record. Kataba, prescribed or ordained. Kataba, prescribed or ordained. Kataba, prescribed or ordained. The next word is aqal, which means understood. Coming from the root word of aqala, which means related to the brain, rationality, or understanding. Similar words are aqil, which means one who understands, or yaqil, which means he understands. فَتَطْمَعُونَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا لَكُمْ وَقَدْ كَانَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَسْمَعُونَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ يُحَرِّفُونَهُ مِن بَعْدِ مَا عَقَلُوهُ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. Do you believers still expect them to be true to you? Though a group of them would hear the word of Allah and then knowingly corrupt it after understanding it. Here, عَقَلُوهُ refers to understanding it. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Indeed, we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran so that you may understand. Here, تعقلون refers to you may understand. ضرب لكم مثلا من أنفسكم هل لكم مما ملكت أيمانكم من شركاء فيما رزقناكم فأنتم فيه سواء تخافونهم كخيفتكم أنفسكم كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعقلون. He sets forth for you an example drawn from your own lives. Would you allow some of those bonds people in your possession to be your equal partners in whatever wealth we have provided you, keeping them in mind as you are mindful of your peers? This is how we make the signs clear for people who understand. Here, يعقلون again refers to them understanding. عقل, understood. عقل, understood. عقل, understood. The next word is Zada, which means increased or provided, coming from the root word of zaid, which means to increase, grow, or multiply. Similar words include ziyada, which means an increase, or zadu, which means they increased. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. There is sickness in their hearts, and Allah only lets their sickness increase. They will suffer a painful punishment for their lies. Here, فزادهم means to increase. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى. Commitment to pilgrimage is made in appointed months. Whoever commits to performing pilgrimage, let them stay away from intimate relations, foul language, and arguments during pilgrimage. Whatever good you do, Allah fully knows of it. Take necessary provisions for the journey. Surely the best provision is righteousness. Here, it comes in twice. وَتَزَوَّدُوا means take necessary provisions. And as-zada refers to the provision. وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زَادَهُمْ هُدًى وَآتَاهُمْ تَقْوَاهُمْ. As for those who are rightly guided, He increases them in guidance and blesses them with righteousness. Here, زادهم refers to He increases. Zada, increased or provided. Zada, increased or provided. Zada, increased or provided. The next word is wa'd, which means promise, coming from the root word of wa'ada, which means to promise, pledge, or threat. Similar words include wa'ada, which means promised. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر عظيم. Allah has promised those who believe and do good His forgiveness and a great reward. Here, wa'ada refers to He has promised. وقال الشيطان لما قضي الأمر إن الله وعدكم وعد الحق ووعدتكم فأخلفتم وما كان لي عليكم من سلطان إلا أن دعوتكم فاستجبتم لي فلا تلوموني ولوموا أنفسكم ما أنا بمصرخكم وما أنتم بمصرخي إني كفرت بما أشركتمون من قبل إن الظالمين لهم عذاب أليم. And Satan will say to his followers after the judgment has been passed, indeed Allah has made you a true promise. I too made you a promise, but I failed you. I did not have any authority over you. I only called you, and you responded to me. So do not blame me. Blame yourselves. I cannot save you, nor can you save me. Indeed, I denounce your previous association of me with Allah in loyalty. Surely the wrongdoers will suffer a painful punishment. May Allah not make us of those people. Here, it's used a few times. Wa'adakum refers to has made you a promise. Wa'ada is the promise itself. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ is I also, or I too made you a promise. وكذلك أعثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أن وعد الله حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا بنوا عليهم بنيانا. That is how we cause them to be discovered, so that their people might know that Allah's promise of resurrection is true and that there is no doubt about the hour. When the people disputed with each other about the case of the youth after their death, some proposed build a structure around them. Here, wa'da refers to promise. Wa'd, promise. Wa'd, promise. Wa'd, promise. The next word is muttaqeen, which refers to righteous or God-conscious. The root is waqi, which means to guard, safeguard, prevent, or protection. Similar words include taqwa, which means God-consciousness. Ittaqi, which is an order to be conscious. Yattaqi, which means is conscious. Or qu, which is an order to protect. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. This is the book, there is no doubt about it, a guide for those mindful of Allah. Here, للمتقين refers to for those mindful of Allah. الشهر الحرام بالشهر الحرام والحرمات قصاص فمن اعتدى عليكم فاعتدوا عليه بمثل ما اعتدى عليكم واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين. There will be retaliation in a sacred month for an offense in a sacred month, and all violations will bring about retaliation. So if anyone attacks you, retaliate in the same manner, but be mindful of Allah, and know that Allah is with those who are mindful of Him. Here, lil muttaqeen refers to for those mindful. Here it's used twice. Wattaqu is an order to the plural to be mindful, and muttaqeen is those mindful. إن المتقين في جنات وعيون ادخلوها بسلام آمنين. Indeed, the righteous will be amid gardens and springs. It will be said to them, enter in peace and security. May Allah make us of those. Al-Muttaqeen here refers to the righteous. Muttaqeen, righteous or God-conscious. Muttaqeen, righteous or God-conscious. Muttaqeen, righteous or God-conscious. The next word is Ghayb, which means the unseen. Coming from the root word of Ghayb, the unknown, invisible, vanish or backbite. Similar words are Yaghib, which means absent. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Those who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and donate from what we have provided for them. Here, بالغيب refers to the unseen. ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين. From this, Yusuf should know that I did not speak dishonestly about him in his absence, for Allah certainly does not guide the scheming of the dishonest. Here, بالغيب refers to in his absence. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. Indeed, those in awe of their Lord without seeing him will have forgiveness and a mighty reward. Here, بالغيب refers to without seeing. غيب, the unseen. غيب, the unseen. غيب, the unseen. And the final word is adu, which means an enemy. Coming from the root word of adu or adi. Animosity, enemy, or infection. Similar words are عدوان, which means animosity. ومن الأنعام حمولة وفرشا كلوا مما رزقكم الله ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. Some cattle are fit for labor, others are too small. Eat of what Allah has provided for you and do not follow Satan's footsteps. Certainly he is your sworn enemy. Here, عدو refers to enemy. ويوم يحشر أعداء الله إلى النار فهم يوزعون. Consider the day when the enemies of Allah will be gathered for the fire, all driven in ranks. May Allah not make us of those people. Here, أعداء refers to the enemies. الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. Close friends will be enemies to one another on that day, except the righteous. Here, عدو refers to an enemy or enemies. عدو, an enemy. عدو, an enemy. عدو, an enemy. So, to recap, Dar, home. Taht, underneath or beneath. Basar, vision, sight or soul. Kataba, prescribed, ordained or decreed. Aql, understood. Zada, increased or provided. Wa'd, promise. Muttaqeen, righteous or God conscious. Ghayb, the unseen. And finally, adu, an enemy. Make sure to test your memory and go through each of these verses and try and remember which word was used in each of them. I'll see you tomorrow inshaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.